What the fuck is up, everybody? I am Tony, your host. Today we're going to be diving into a hidden gem from 2008 that deserves way more love than it gets. Drillbit Taylor, starring the ever-charming Owen Wilson. This coming-of-age comedy, produced by Judd Apatow and co-written by Seth Rogen, is a heartfelt, hilarious take on high school survival, bullying, and unlikely friendships. So grab your Captain Crunch, Drillbit's favorite cereal, and let's unpack why this film is so delightful and underappreciated. It's a classic. Take my hand as we explore its characters, humor, themes, and why it's a perfect rewatch for teens and adults alike. Let's roll. I don't know why I did that. That was stupid. I'll admit that. Drillbit Taylor, though, kicks off with three freshmen, Wade, Ryan, and Emmett, stepping into the chaotic world of high school. Played by Nate Hartley, Troy Gentile, or Gentle, I don't know how to say his name, and David Dorfman. These kids are the quintessential underdogs. Wade's a scrawny dreamer, Ryan's a loudmouth with a heart of gold, and Emmett's a pint-sized Broadway enthusiast, dude. Their excitement, though, is quickly crushed by Filkins, a sociopathic bully, played with chilling menace by Alex Frost. The guy's not your average jock. He's like a teenage Hannibal Lecter, complete with a creepy, emancipated backstory. Desperate to survive, the trio places an ad for a bodyguard in Soldier of Fortune magazine because, that's totally what freshmen do. You know what I'm saying? Enter Drillbit Taylor, played by Owen Wilson, a homeless con man who's more interested in scamming these fucking kids than protecting them. He is no hero. He's a beach bum, AWOL soldier with dreams of escaping to Canada. Canada, of all places. But as the story unfolds, Drillbit's like fake bravado and the kids' earnest trust, like it just sparks a journey of growth, dude. These kids are easily able to just connect with it. And that's what makes this like work. It's a blend of humor and relatable stakes. The premise of hiring a bodyguard to fend off bullies feels fresh, right? Even if it's like echoes that classic My Bodyguard. It's a love letter to teen misfits wrapped in Judd Apatow's signature mix of crude comedy and emotional depth. And let's be real, who hasn't fantasized about hiring a pro to handle their fucking high school bullies? You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's talk performances and character arc, people. Let's talk about the heart of this movie. It's Owen Wilson as Drillbit Taylor, or as I should say, Bob Taylor. The guy who accidentally drills his pinky in high school and gets stuck with that fucking nickname. Wilson is in peak form here, delivering his trademark laid-back charm with a dose of vulnerability. Drillbit's a liar, right? And a thief at the start, planning to fleece these fucking kids and rob their houses with his homeless buddies. Bro, one of them played by the hilarious fucking god Danny McBride, among others. Danny McBride, love you. Sorry. He's the sleaziest motherfucker, dude. So take this scene where he poses as a substitute teacher, right? It's pure gold. When Drillbit's doing that pose, he's leaning into Drillbit's contradictions. He's a con man who's generally likable, a drifter who craves connection. As he bonds with the kids, though, you see his facade crack. He starts to care, and Wilson sells that shift without ever losing that comedic edge. But one standout moment is when Drillbit confesses his real name and AWOL backstory to the kids. It's a quiet scene, but Wilson's sincerity, those soft-spoken, wow, man, vibes, you know what I mean? It makes it hit hard. He's not just a screw-up, he's a guy searching for a purpose, and the kids give him that. By the end, when he risks his pinky to save them from Filkin's samurai sword, yes, it's as wild as it sounds, you're cheering for this lovable character. Wilson carries that film, proving he's more than just like a quirky sidekick in Apatow's world. So Drillbit's arc is the emotional spine of the movie. It's not just about him helping the kids, it's about him getting the help from them to find redemption. There's that mutual growth. It's what elevates Drillbit Taylor above the typical teen comedy. It's not just slapstick either. It's about a second chance, dude. It's all about second chances. And Wilson's chemistry with the young cast feels insanely effortless, dude. It's almost like he's that silly older brother, if you know what I'm saying. Now, let's give some love to the trio, Wade, Ryan, and Emmett. These kids are the soul of the movie. And the casting is spot on, dude. Wade is the everyman, dude. He's so goofy. The scrawny kid who just wants to ask out his crush, Brooke, right? So then there's Troy's Ryan, aka T-Dog. He steals the scene with his brash humor and unexpected depth. He's the chubby loudmouth who's seriously loyal, dude. And David's Emmett, he's like, again, a pint-sized powerhouse, dude. He's over here quoting Blade Runner and throwing out all these fucking one-lines, like just zingers, dude. Their chemistry is just electric. And it really is reminiscent of like a Superbad trio, but younger and less crude. The script is co-written by Seth Rogen and Christopher Brown. It gives them like distinct voices, essentially. Wade's optimism and Ryan's bravado. Emmett's like nerdy quirks, It feels like they're real friends. They're not just caricatures, dude. Like there's a rap battle scene where Ryan challenges Filkins. It is cringeworthy, dude, at best, but he's showing the desperation to be cool while highlighting that, like, their bond. You know what I mean? Like, what's brilliant is how the film lets them grow without losing their quirks. Wade gains confidence to ask out Brooke eventually. Ryan does embrace Emmett as a friend, and Emmett proves that he's not just a little guy. Their journey isn't just about beating up the bully, it's about finding strength in their differences. For anyone that's ever felt like an outsider, these kids are your heroes. The trio's like dynamic, it mirrors the best of like a John Hughes film, like teens in one of his films, which makes sense since he's credited with the story for this film under a pseudonym. Believe it or not, struggles are relatable for this film, right? The humor keeps it from feeling too heavy. The film nails the awkwardness of adolescence while celebrating the power of friendship. God, I love that. I just realized I like this movie more than I really thought I did. Let's talk the laughs, though, okay? Before I get too ahead of myself, Apatow's signature humor is all over this. It's a mix of physical comedy, the witty one-liners, the heartwarming moments. Yes, it's PG-13, so it is tamer than Superbad or like a Knocked Up, but that's part of the charm. It's a teen comedy that doesn't really like rely on raunch to get laughs. Instead, it does lean on the clever gags and the character-driven humor, which I love. The bodyguard interview montage is a highlight, dude. Each candidate is just weirder and fucking weirder than the last. And it sets up to Drillbert's like absurdity, dude. It shows you exactly what he's like. Like there's even training sequences where he's teaching the kids like all these ridiculous moves like bear hug or worship the sun. It's silly, dude. It's silly as fuck, but it works because the kids buy into it so easily. And let's not forget Leslie Mann as Lisa, the naive teacher who falls for Drillbit. Her comedic timing is impeccable, dude, especially in those like quick cut scenes where they're meeting. Dude, it leaves her hair a fucking mess. A mess. The humor isn't perfect, but some of the jokes, like, they fall flat, but dude, I think they work. Even the ones that fall flat, they work on second approach. I like the kids. Emmett quoting Blade Runner is fucking hilarious. And then like Drillbit's reaction to it, it's always pure gold. I think it's Apatow's like knack for finding humor and the mundane that makes this film so rewatchable. And while some critics have called the script lazy, dude, I fucking disagree. The humor feels authentic to the characters, and the lighter tone makes it accessible to a wider audience. I will argue that. It's not trying to be super bad. It's carving its own niche as like a family-friendly comedy with heart. Beyond the laughs, though, Drillbit Taylor tackles some surprisingly deep themes. Bullying, right? That's front and center. And while the film exaggerates Filkin's evil behavior, it does capture that real fear and that helplessness that kids feel. The adults' obliviousness to everything, dude, and parents and principals just kind of brushing off the bullying. It rings true to life, even if it's played for laughs. It's a critique of how schools often fail to address bullying, which adds a layer of social commentary. I can admit that. But the real heart of the film is about the redemption and, found family. Drillbit starts out as a con man, but he finds purpose in helping these kids. The kids, in turn, learn to stand up for themselves, not just through fighting, but through confidence and friendship. The climactic fight at the end, dude, where Drillbit loses half his pinky to save the boys, it's absurd, but it's symbolic. He's literally giving a piece of himself for them. The film also touches on the absence of parental support, which is a huge thing even to this day. Wade's stepfather is a jerk, Ryan's dad is gone, Emmett's parents are barely fucking mentioned. Drillbit becomes a flawed but caring mentor, filling that gap. It's not preachy, I know it sounds like it, but it's just a reminder that kids need adults who believe in them, right? For a comedy, that's a very, very powerful message. Some reviews have criticized the film for glossing over serious issues like homelessness or bullying, right? But I think that misses the point. It's a fucking comedy. It's not a documentary. It uses humor to highlight these issues while keeping the tone hopeful. I mean, the message isn't like, punch your bullies, but it kind of is like, hey, find your strength in your people and then punch your bullies. That's what makes it resonate with most people, I would say. So, why should you watch Drillbit Taylor, right? It's not a perfect movie. It has pacing issues, a few flat jokes, like I said, that just kind of hold back. But it feels like comedy gold with heart, humor, and it's got the stellar cast now. Owen Wilson, dude, amazing. He's always a good screw up. He's always good with kids on screen, and like the Apatow Hughes Rogan-esque combo delivers like a unique spin on the teen comedy genre. It's a movie that captures the chaos of high school really well while reminding us that even the biggest misfits can find their footing and their place, whatever. But if you're a fan of like, Freaks and Geeks or Superbad or any of those that I mentioned, dude, this is a must watch. It's a nostalgic trip for adults and it's a relatable ride for teens. So what can I rate it? Well, people, if you know me, you know I have a rating system. I'm going to say that this is worth checking out on streaming. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to leave a comment below. Did you like or love Drillbit Taylor, or is it time for a rewatch? Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.